Complexity is punished, nuance is suspicious, silence is interpreted as guilt. So people perform, not to change systems but to avoid becoming targets. This is why moral theater thrives in public spaces and collapses in private decisions, why institutions adopt ethical language while resisting structural change, why goodness is praised but rarely defended when it threatens power. Machiavelli warned that societies obsessed with appearances become vulnerable to manipulation, because when goodness is measured by display, those who control display control morality. Algorithms decide visibility. Platforms decide acceptability. Institutions decide which values are safe to hold. Goodness becomes standardized, and anything outside the approved script feels dangerous. The irony is brutal. In a world saturated with moral language, actual moral courage becomes rare. Because real goodness risks reputation, real integrity invites retaliation, real ethics threaten comfort, so society learns to reward performance instead. It is safer to look good than to do good, safer to signal than to sacrifice, safer to echo than to challenge. This is not because people are evil, it is because systems punish deviation. Machiavelli's insight echoes louder than ever. When morality becomes a costume, power moves behind the stage. Today, goodness is not protected by institutions, it is consumed by them, displayed, monetized, applauded and discarded when inconvenient. This leaves the individual with an uncomfortable choice: to perform goodness and remain safe, or to practice it and accept the cost. Machiavelli would not tell you to abandon morality. He would tell you to understand its environment, because goodness that relies on applause will collapse the moment the crowd turns, and crowds always turn. The closing truth is unsettling, but necessary in modern society. Goodness is rarely rewarded for its impact. It is rewarded for its visibility. Today, goodness is not something you are shielded for. It is something you are expected to display. And once goodness becomes theater, power never sits in the audience. It writes the script, strategic ethics, the space between naivety and cruelty. There is a lie told about Machiavelli that has survived for centuries, that he hated morality, that he glorified cruelty, that he believed the end always justifies the means. But this lie exists for a reason, because the truth is far more uncomfortable. Machiavelli did not argue against ethics. He argued against ethical blindness. He understood that morality, when detached from